Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Pretend Problems Podcast. I'm Kelsey Cook.
And I'm Bob Vila.
You're who?
Bob Vila.
Who's that?
He used to have a show where it was called This Old House.
Okay.
And he would fix problems in the house. I am starting a new show, Bob Vila's This Expensive Ass House, where I still have to fix problems.
Oh.
Like the reverse osmosis system.
Oh, okay.
I figured it out, you guys. Finally did it.
This is exciting for like every dad that listens, and then every woman is like, we don't know what any of this is.
You don't know. You don't know. It felt great. I'm just going to interview myself here. We had a plumber come over, and he actually said this sentence. He goes, I don't know what's going on. You should call specialists for a reverse osmosis system. And then the next sentence was, okay, $59.99. So he basically told us that he didn't know what was happening and then still charged us, which is like, it's the job. I understand that. But
Yeah.
so anyways, I brought a bike tire pump in, opened the faucet after I changed the whole faucet out, and then pump some air in there. She's cooking.
This has been the highlight of Chad's year, if you guys can't tell.
Yeah.
It's been fun to watch, like a true, like what really gets a guy going, just at your core.
Just figuring stuff out.
Just picture you being a child, you know, tinkering around with whatever toys boys play with. And then you're a man and you're like, I fucking fixed my own faucet.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
It's like,
it felt very good.
It really, I don't get it, but I'm very appreciative that you like to do that stuff because God knows I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with any of it. And we were just buying a bunch of bulk water at the store because we couldn't have filtered water here.
It was brutal.
Hard time.
Real tough, you guys. Real tough. I actually at one point was obviously just joking, but I had to pump for a while before I had figured out that like actually getting the air moving through the tank was going to fix it. Mm-hmm. I had the bike pump, and it's like where you put your feet on the two little levers on the ground and then you push it down like a dynamite explosion. I was doing that, and then I was like, God, this must be what it feels like to have to walk from a river with clay pots of water on your head. Jesus Christ. Like
What is this, Little House on the Prairie?
Easiest problems of all time, and we're just...
Well, some other things have been happening in our house with the plumbing. And they involve Chad's asshole. We should have just named this entire podcast Diarrhea. Because at some point, we always end up back at butt stuff and not the fun kind.
So I was ill. We talked about it last time. I was ill, and then everything was going great. And I think I must have caught something else.
Yeah.
Because it just rode the wave. So started barfing pretty hardcore. And then ended up barfing every 2 hours overnight. So I would get up, not that this is so disgusting. I'm going to be the worst, but I would get up, I would feel my stomach start to rumble, but there was nothing in it. So I'd go drink some water, drink a little bit of NyQuil to try to get a little bit of that to absorb, eat a little bit of banana, a little bit of peanut butter, and then chug a glass of water. And then I would immediately puke it up. Every 2 hours for 14 hours, was it? To the point where you're going to see me breathe weird and you go, oh, he must be breathing funny too. No, it's because my muscles feel like they're detached from my ribs. And whatever is right here is bruised from all the barfing.
Now, your method, can I just say, of that you would like intentionally eat something and then chug a glass of water.
Right.
Because you didn't want to just be throwing up stomach bile.
Right.
But man, now is this something you just like adopted on your own, or is that something your parents were like?
It's something I adopted on my own. It's like, what am I doing not puking anything up? Like I feel like I'm knocking the wind out of myself by vomiting so many times in a row with nothing in there.
Right.
And so, the first thing I puked up was a chocolate smoothie, which was awesome because it tasted good because it was so fresh still that it tasted pretty good coming back up.
Enjoy your smoothies today,
Yeah,
everybody.
and then it just turned into it's not diarrhea.
It's chocolate smoothie.
No, it's just water. Like I recorded it so you could hear it. It sounds like I'm actually peeing into the toilet.
He actually did, by the way. We've come a long ways. I'm really proud of you. He used to be like terrified to fart in front of me, just like wanted to retain this like perfect image of himself.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
Fart and record your butt pee for me. Okay, I would never have asked you to do that.
I know.
But I love that you did. I was like, good, yay.
Well, I recorded it for you because number one, I didn't think you'd believe that it actually sounded like that. And then number two, I recorded you chewing because you are, and I would put a lot of money on this, and I don't care if you jinx it because it's a solid bet. You're the loudest chewer in the history of man.
Oh my God.
It is true. I have several recordings on my phone from across the kitchen, and it sounds like rabbits start off on like some cabbage and then get a taste for blood and then destroy another animal.
I would like for you to play this into the microphone. I want to know what I sound like.
I don't have my phone with me. But I'm telling you, it is like, and because you said you have a deviated septum, you can't breathe in, so you have to keep your mouth open, and that's tough.
Well, okay, two things. First of all, please have your phone with you for the next episode because I think the listeners would maybe be interested in hearing this. I certainly would.
Okay.
Number two.
Well, wait, why don't we insert it right here? I'll send it to Justin.
Okay. And then I'll give you my reaction next episode because I can't react to it live now. But secondly, I am still sick. Yeah. You can probably hear it. I'm still nasally. I'm still stuffed up. So I think anybody, when they're stuffed up, they have a hard time keeping their mouth totally closed when they chew because they have to breathe somehow.
Right.
And I do have a deviated septum. And so it's like, even when I'm not sick, I kind of have a hard time breathing through my nose. But I was like raised with manners. I know to chew with my mouth closed. I'm not like a cow. I'm
just kidding.
I was eating soup yesterday, and as I was eating, Chad just went and leaned his face really close to my mouth to look at what was happening.
I want to see if your lips were separating.
And he was like, yep, your lips are separating. So it's like my lips are technically separating a little bit, but I'm not. It's not a rude thing. I just am trying to not die.
Of course it's not a rude thing. I'm not saying it's a rude thing. I'm saying, so I found out a thing. Misophonia is 20% of people have it, and it is the hatred of certain sounds. And we've talked about this. Mine's chewing for whatever reason it is. And then you have amplified chewing. I think it's because you chew very fast. You do sound like a little woodland creature. You chew very, very fast. And what?
A little square.
A little square. So, I mean, whatever. We just deal with it. I have a lot of shit too.
Are you excited for forever for hearing that?
Yes. I'm going deaf, so this is going to be fine. 2 more years.
Okay, we have to go back to you being sick. This is so, to me, counterintuitive that when you have either the stomach flu or food poisoning, that you are trying to, in that process, keep putting food back in. I have always been told it's just like you puke and you puke until you're done puking, and then you try to have something, or you take like tiny sips of water in between your bouts of throwing up to try to like stay a little hydrated. But like chugging a glass of water, that's just going to make you keep puking. Putting food, it's like probably, you can't.
But the middle of the middle of it all, I puked with nothing.
Yeah.
And it was too much. It hurt my throat. It almost felt like I tore my throat. And so I'm like, that's enough of that shit. So I was drinking cold water. I'm like, we're going to ice it on the way down. We're going to ice it on the way back up.
I'm just so sorry. I hated it.
It's okay.
It's so horrible as a partner to be hearing those sounds from the bathroom because you're like, God, I just want to help. I just want to somehow like save him from this. And there's nothing you can do. And it's just like, you're
and I felt bad too, because the only thing louder than your chewing is my puking. But you were so nice. You didn't feel good. You went to the store, got me Tums, Gatorade, saltine crackers. You brought down Dayquil, NyQuil, ibuprofen, a big thing of ice water, all this shit. It was really great. And you've just you've been really taking care of me. So thanks.
You're welcome.
Sorry,
take care of me.
Sorry about all the toilets.
I don't care. I cleaned around the toilets. You cleaned around the toilets. We're getting through it. But man, if you have also been sick lately, because it just seems like so many people have been, this has been crazy. I don't know that I've ever had a flu that has lasted this long. It was like 9 days. I mean, just nuts. And I still, obviously, I'm like certainly not contagious anymore, but like you can hear it. There's still, stuffy nose and some cough and shit like that. But I was so sad to cancel my San Antonio shows. If you're listening and you had those tickets, I hope that you're able to make it to the rescheduled dates in May. It sucks so bad to cancel tour dates. It's like your last possible option. But I hadn't had to in over a year since my diarrhea hospitalization in Alabama. But it's such a bummer. I was talking about it with our friend Chris, who was like, yeah, I mean, I get that. That must be so hard to feel like you've got all these people who have like bought tickets and, if you cancel, then you have to like coordinate all this stuff. Cause I had like my merch shipped already to the venue and like my opener, I had to tell him and he had to cancel his flights and all this stuff. And she was like, but hopefully you're able to like give them all enough of a heads up that they have time to like really figure everything out. And I'm like, yeah, that's like not how it works with when you have to cancel from being sick, because you can't be like, hey guys, I think in 3 days, I'm not going to feel so hot. It's like, it's the night before when you're like, hey, I have given this every chance that I can to get better. And I still have a fever and I like don't have my full voice. Like my voice will go out on stage. It's just like, it just sucks. It's the worst.
Well, I'm going to find out where some of our neighbors shop and I'm going to go lick the stuff right before they grab it.
You don't like our neighbors?
I'm just kidding.
Okay. That was just so out of nowhere. I was like, oh, do we hate our neighbors?
Hey, I wasn't at the meeting.
Yeah.
Are we hitting our neighbors?
Did something happen? So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys are staying healthy and safe, and it's just sucks that this always happens like around the holidays for people, because it's like that's when people have the most plans and the most like times of wanting to see your family and your friends and stuff like that. But I'm glad we're both feeling better now.
Truth.
And we're heading to Spokane this week.
Yep.
We're seeing my family. We're gonna go to a Gonzaga game.
Oh yeah, Gonzaga.
Gonzaga. Chad has finally learned how to say Gonzaga right.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing: we're gonna eat a lot of food. It's like part of going to Spokane and then going to Seattle. We're going to Seattle as well. And I don't know. You were like pretty excited about that you've lost some weight in this process, and I'm just telling you that the places I'm gonna be taking us, this is not like low calorie food.
Oh, this is just water weight, so I'm not worried about it. I'll be back to normal in a little bit, but I'm excited. I'm excited to go on some more airplanes and see what else I can pick up before the end of the year. I'd like to really get blackout on my bingo card for illnesses. So anyways, if anybody has AIDS out there, call me. But I don't want it to be given to me that way. Just like we'll prick our fingers, go in a tree fort, promise to be friends forever. AIDS.
AIDS. Well, is that all you have for the beginning?
That's it.
Okay. Well, I guess we're going to get into tour dates
Great.
and questions. So both of our tours now are wrapped up for this year. And, but our new tours kick off in January. I added Albuquerque. If you didn't hear last episode, that is January 24th and 25th. And then I'm in Indianapolis the weekend after that. And then I'm in Spokane in February, Boston doing the Wilbur, Mashantucket, Connecticut, which is where Foxwoods Casino is. Every time I like add like Mashantucket on the tour or like have my tour guide do it, it's just so like everybody's like, what's in Mashantucket? And I'm like, but that's literally the name of where this casino is anyway. And then so many more. Chad and I have 3 co-headlining tour dates together in New York City, New Jersey, and Philly in April 10th, 11th, and 12th. So you can get all my tour date tickets. There's so many dates at kelseycook.com. How about you?
I'm going to be in Atlanta and Portland and then a bunch of other places at chaddaniels.com. I have no idea where I'm going to be.
Okay, great.
But I know Atlanta and Portland are January.
Yeah.
We're going to questions?
We're going to questions because we don't.
Y'all,
apparently.
are we going to questions right now?
If you guys listened to last week's episode, what a fucking struggle. We should have just emailed our podcast network and been like, hey, we just can't. I wish I wouldn't have pushed myself, just because I think even like when you're really sick and you're exerting your energy for even an hour, like doing a podcast, I think it can set you back. And then I don't know. I've been trying not to play the what if game for canceling San Antonio and just been like, you know what? You're probably going to be that sick anyway, but
you absolutely should have.
Thank you.
That would be crazy not to have. I'm in a full flop sweat right now, just so everyone's clear.
Oh God.
That's
really?
okay. Let's do it. Let me answer these fucking questions.
No. Do you have to go to the bathroom?
Are any of them about flop sweats?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Do you have to go to the bathroom?
I always have to go to the bathroom.
Oh. Well, we can. The
Nope.
magic of
Let's
editing. Okay.
I'm going to breathe through it.
Chad.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Okay. Guys, write into pretendproblemspodcast@gmail.com if you want us to help answer like a question you have in your life, in your relationship, if you want advice about something, if you have a thought about stuff that we're talking about, write in. And then if you want bonus episodes, after this is done, we'll take a break for Chad to go have his bathroom time. Okay, we're not. You're going to see this white blanket turn brown.
I just might be intense. Maybe it'll get my brain going.
Okay. We're going to record a bonus Patreon episode after this one. So you can head on over to patreon.com/pretendproblems. Oh my God, it's been a second since is it Pretend Problems Podcast or Pretend Problems?
I don't know. I don't do any of this stuff.
Well, golly, now I feel so unprofessional. Why don't I know the name of our thing? Oh no, sorry, Justin. Hold on. Okay. Patreon.com/pretendproblems. Head on over there. Okay. Let's do it. So this is titled Advice on Shit In-Laws.
Oh.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This starts with, hey guys, huge fan of both of yours. Every time Chad is in Michigan, I always make a point to go. His last show in Detroit, I got to have a nice 2-minute conversation with him about that shitty venue in Grand Rapids, in air quotes. Oh man, we've shit on that venue so much. Poor people. They're wonderful people there. It's just the venue, not great. Okay.
How wonderful are you if you can't... If you go, well, I need to make sure there's a dance party on the 3rd floor every single fucking night while there's comedy on the 4th floor.
No, I meant the people who work the club are very nice people.
Who work the actual club?
Yeah.
Sure.
But
I'm
mean,
saying like the owners, like how much fucking money do you need, one or the other? Like build a wall or something.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's just not conducive for comedy, but... Okay. They say, to get to the question, I would love your advice on, as Poe almost barks. Poe, stop barking. To get to the question, I would love your advice on, my wife and I have been together for almost 15 years. We have a 10-year-old, a 5-year-old, and she is pregnant again, all girls. Congratulations. Her parents, who I will say claim to love and adore our children, who are very well behaved, have never once taken them for a sleepover or even out to dinner.
Weak.
We can't even seem to get them to watch them for more than an hour or two without complaining nonstop for the next month. When my wife was a child, her grandparents had her and her sister over almost every weekend, would take them out all the time, and even take them on weekend vacations. My in-laws have even mentioned to us how nice it was for them to have that alone time while the kids were away, and somehow I'm called an asshole when I mentioned to them that it would be nice if they did anything at all with our kids. I don't want to say it drives a wedge between my wife and I, because I actually think we bond and agree over how ridiculous this is. I've been trying to convince my wife to tell her parents how she feels about it, but she is scared to upset her father, whereas I enjoy the chance to piss him off. Knowing Chad,
This is my kind of guy.
yeah. Knowing Chad has raised 2 well-behaved children, so he says, how would you think we should handle this?
I personally pull the kids further away from them. And I know that's like, you go, yeah, but those are the grandparents. Why would you do that to the kids? I would just try to prove a point. I would say, like, I mean, they're not taking them anyways. So I'd stop inviting the grandparents over. And I'd be like, well, I mean, what do you want to do? Come over here and see the kids for a half hour?
Interesting.
I would also, bring up anytime they go, yeah, it's really nice that our parents used to do that. Be like, well, we wouldn't know because you guys don't ever fucking do anything.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know. This is a hard thing because it's like, you can't really make somebody want to be that sort of a grandparent. And like, I mean, again, I don't have kids, but we all probably, before you have kids, hope that your parents will be the sort of grandparents you envision. But I think sometimes people get a little surprised and they're like, oh, I thought my parents would want to be more involved as grandparents, and maybe they're not. So yeah, I don't know if this is a thing that you would actually like sit her parents down about and be like, just so you know, we have this sort of bitterness and resentment about you guys never offering to help. Because they could kind of be like, that's like not our responsibility. Like, when you guys had kids, that you didn't like check with the grandparents beforehand, like, hey, we're going to have kids, but like, we need to know how involved you're going to be. That was technically like something you guys did. And maybe their like idea of retirement or whatever is that they want to just like, I don't know. I don't know these people.
Yeah, I mean, they could have raised your wife and then been like, all right, we're done.
Yeah,
like, we didn't sign up for version 2 of this.
Yeah.
And I do say, like, pulling the kids away from their grandparents with some hesitancy. I know I balked at that a little bit, but because that is hard on the kids as well, because you want them to be with their grandparents as much as possible for that relationship. But maybe, I don't know, maybe just to prove the point. But I would definitely say something. And then if they go, yeah, that's not our job, then it kind of isn't.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that if they do watch them for more than an hour or two and then they complain nonstop for the next month, like you said, that's just like, I think at that point, if I were you, I would be like, okay, so they are not people who we can count on to watch our kids. Like, if my wife and I want to do something, we need to just hire a babysitter. And I get that is probably so frustrating, especially if you have other people in your life who have kids and their parents are very like, oh yeah, we'd love to have them over for the weekend. But I'm just saying that, like, it is kind of out of your control to force somebody to be into having their grandkids over, which, by the way, I'm not like siding with her parents at all. I think this is shitty, but it is kind of like, you can't change.
Yeah, you can't force someone, but you can absolutely use shame to your advantage in this situation. You could really ask them, like, what's wrong with our kids that you don't want to spend time with them? I can't believe you guys don't want to spend time with your grandkids. That's pretty incredible. I would, shame is a powerful tool, parent to child, but I think it can be reversed pretty easily and pretty quickly.
Yeah, and the whole that your wife doesn't want to talk about it because she's scared to upset her dad. I don't know. It sounds like there's like lots of dynamics going on there, But I'm sorry you're going through this. Pick and choose from mine and Chad's advice if anything in there sounds good. If your wife gives you permission to talk to the parents and like do it your way of where you're like you enjoy the chance to piss them off, then do your thing. I just don't I don't want what's happening with the parents to like disrupt your dynamic with your wife.
Right. I also know of a building in Michigan that has 5 stories where you could just go have the kids run around for a while. There's safety nets from drunk people that have fallen off the stairs trying to slide down and have died. And so now they have safety nets there, so you don't have to worry about that. The kids will be looked after, and something to think about. Lots of dance music.
Lots of wedding receptions with the music leaking into every other place. All right. Thanks for writing in. We hope that helps. And sorry that's happening. That would like really disappoint
would drive me crazy. Yep.
Really, really bum me out. Okay, this is a quick one. This is titled Nicknames. They say, "Hey, Kelsey and Chad, I've listened to both your podcasts and love them. Listen to PPP from the beginning. Just want to say, if a jinx is now a Kelsey, I'm 100% going to use an overreaction or an immediate defense as a Chad. It fits so well. Love you both. Erica."
There's no doubt about that.
Oh, Erica. Thank you. That's very, very funny.
Yeah, that is wonderful. Fucking asshole. Just kidding. Sorry, I pulled the chair.
Here's the chat. Okay, this is titled Home Depot. This is very fitting for the beginning of our episode today. They say, "Chad, be careful just wandering around Home Depot looking at stuff. Your journey to see what letters you have, only to find out you're just a genius, is a path I walked several years ago. I believe you and I have very similar brains. That said, walking around Home Depot can lead to seeing materials, items, tools as potential XYZ. I can't tell you how many times I've gone there looking for a box of screws, only to return with multiple new projects that occurred to me while wandering. And that is why my side of the garage is not filled with my car, but materials and hardware instead."
Been there.
Do you relate to that?
Oh, yeah.
Does that happen to you often?
I mean, we have a weed whipper that's not even put together yet.
Oh.
Because I had so many plans for it. And then I just thought, well, okay, winter's going to come soon enough.
There is still a roll of fence on the ground in the backyard.
Yeah, that's true.
But the thing that's hard is like, well, I'm not fucking doing it. And so when I see it, I'm just like, well, I can't say anything because I'm just grateful for any of the stuff he does. But
well, we're on a hill, and so the bottom of the yard gets wet. Takes a while for it to dry after the winter, and by the time it actually dries, it's time to go to the cabin. So, and by the time I get back from the cabin, the ground is getting hard because winter's coming. So I don't know what to do about that.
So it's just never going to get done.
Doesn't seem like it's hurting anything.
It's true. When we stopped letting Poe out back there because it's too muddy anyway.
And plus there was a coyote one time.
Oh, yeah. Well, would they get over a fence?
I bet they could jump over a fence.
Gosh, I don't even know what a coyote looks like. Okay. This is titled New to Sports Jinxes. They say, "Hi, Kelsey and Chad. I was not a sports guy for most of my life. I wasn't anti-sports. It just was not my thing. About 18 months ago, my wife introduced me to watching NWSL games." What is that?
NWSL. National Women's Soccer League.
Flash forward, and I am now an NWSL super fan, the way some people are NFL or MLB super fans. We are
No, never mind. I don't know.
We are season ticket holders for our local team, Racing Louisville FC. Go Big Perp. That being said, I've always considered myself to be a logical or pragmatic guy. That is until this last season, our team was up 1-0 in an early game. My wife turns to me and says, "Man, it would make this game a lot more interesting if the other team tied it up for a bit." I was flabbergasted that she put that thought out into a universe that I regularly proclaim I do not buy into. I responded by saying, "What are you doing? Why would you say that?" Then I suddenly realized I guess I'm a sports jinx believer. It doesn't make sense. I know there is no logical way that statement persuades the game, yet here I am. P.S. Louisville barely missed the playoffs, and I still mostly jokingly remind my wife that she caused that. Love everything you both do. Andy S., you can use my name because she listens, and I want her to know that I am now shaming her on a podcast.
I knew this public forum would be good for something.
Yeah, my God.
I knew it.
That's very funny. I love that couples listen together. That's very fun. Okay. This is titled Long Live the King. Dear Calcium Chad. It's really stuck. The ways to get really good sleep include a bedtime routine, cool, dark environment, limiting distractions, and predictable location. I imagine as road comics, the sleep disruption is next level. A new city, variable times, various roommates / hotel floor mates being goofs, surgical residency is pretty similar. Spending every second or third night in a hospital for 7 years, made for settling down into sleep, pretty challenging, especially when you could be called at any minute for someone bleeding to death or something. My God. With experience, that improves, but it still sucks, and on-call sleep is awful. All that preamble to say, in order to control my environment during training, and since then, I've listened to comedy as I go to sleep, and it plays in the background to give me a modicum of control over the night. I bounce between comedians and wanted to put this little gem into your pillowed lap. We do have pillows in our laps.
Sure enough.
3 years ago, Kelsey was the queen. This year, Chad, you win. Thanks for some restful nights. P.S. The parasocial glee and you two getting together still delights me, and getting to enjoy your relationship with you is lovely. You can use my name, John. John, thank you.
Thank you, John. There's no higher compliment than letting us know that our comedy puts you to sleep.
Oh, that's all very nice, though.
No. It is very nice. I've heard that. Heard that before, and not in a bad way. I think that actually Joe Zimmerman has a very funny bit about that.
Oh yeah, Joe Zimmerman is a very soothing, voice. What's the word for like your speaking rhythm? Your cadence. Oh, sick brain.
Hello, sick brain.
Hello, sick brain. I cannot even imagine being an on-call surgeon.
No, thank you.
And then you have to wake up from your nap and go save somebody's life?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
It takes me 20 minutes to get moving in the morning. I can't imagine. I'm going to try my hardest to have all my accidents during the day.
Oh my God.
Right?
For real. Jesus Christ. Thank you for writing in. Okay. This is a long one, but you know what? I had mentioned this one on the previous episode where I said, oh, we've got a middle segment that I'm going to pull, and then we're going to come back to. So this is us coming back to it. So David, you had written in about people who stand when they wipe and people who sit when they wipe.
Hello, David.
Hello, David.
Sometimes you don't have to wipe because it's water. Just have to do a little shimmy.
Oh, you've been wearing so much white lately, and it's really been like.
I feel slim.
Brave.
I feel slim from all the water weight loss, so I'll be back to black.
No, I just mean with all the.
No, I understand
the
what you mean.
splatters.
But I'm just telling you, it's like this is the time I'm going to wear white.
You look great.
Yeah, I feel great.
You do.
Just kidding.
You really do. Okay, let's do this. So they say, hey team, I started watching the podcast about 3 weeks ago, and as of yesterday, I'm all caught up. I had known of Kelsey from her special and from the foosball show. Chad, I then watched your stuff after starting the podcast, and I dig it. You two are funny fucks. I love it. I love being called a funny fuck. I have yet to check out the Patreon due to me being a poor. David, we get it. It's okay. All right, team, diaper up. It's going to be a long email. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. Number 1, not shitting on calcium, Chad, just attempting to commiserate. Chad, a couple of your behaviors remind me of myself, and sometimes it's hard to see, specifically the anger in the car and the need to be right, because you're the most intelligent person in the room. I have been an intelligent, angry person for a long time now. Then I got married, and she is the goods. When she brought up my anger or drinking, I am 2 years sober now. Congratulations.
Nice work.
I would reply with, well, you knew what I was when you married me. So it became a real problem. Giving that line is basically offering her no change and not looking inward to my internal problems. So we went to therapy. I learned that I am wildly reactive, and I would focus on things happening to me rather than things happening around me. I realized I was not being a good partner, and that sucked because I love seeing my wife smiling, and at the time, she was not smiling a lot. Becoming less reactive was and still is a journey. I had to stop viewing my drinking as something I was doing to myself and something that was affecting others. And that opened a whole new world for this guy. I started taking a breath before I reacted, and when I got angry at, say, other drivers on the road, I would have to give myself time to figure out why I was mad rather than reacting to being mad, learning that I can stop myself from being angry with things I cannot control. It also helped me realize that my anger while driving was affecting my wife. It stopped being about me being in the right and making sure she was not feeling unsafe, and she is much happier for it. My need to be right caused a lot of problems in my marriage, but once I learned to not be as reactive and take a moment to maybe realize getting into a fight with my wife over some bullshit wasn't worth it in the long run, regardless of who is right. Plus, I also learned that folks don't want to hump when you are being shitty to them, so that had to be remedied. Anywho, I feel like I am rambling now and beating a dead horse. TLDR, all right, you two are hot as fuck, so stop fighting over little things you can't control so you don't miss out on the humping.
How much did you pay him?
I knew.
How much?
I knew.
Oh, yeah? There was a middle segment. We'll come back to this. Give him time to rewrite it. Is that right? Do a little proofreading, send some notes back, get the exact stanza that you wanted.
Oh, God, my face hurts.
Yeah.
I can't handle it when you do the serious character.
Unbelievable. Wow.
Oh, my face.
What's this person's name? Are we allowed to say? Or this pretend person?
David.
Oh. Hey, David. You can't control what happens on the road? Have you ever got your front of your car right up to somebody's bumper when they're in the left lane going slowly and they move over? I don't know, dude. Or sorry. I don't know, dude.
Stop.
Feels like control to me.
Stop.
Hi, Calcium David.
Stop, my face hurts so bad. Ow. Having facial cramps.
Wow, I can't believe that. Okay, well. You could have just said, you could have skipped all this bullshit and just said to me, I'm not going to have sex with you anymore unless you change your ways. Unbelievable.
Break character. Break
And I have
character.
changed my ways.
It's too long.
I have changed my ways.
I know you have. This isn't about you. This is this person talking about themselves and their wife.
Yeah. Okay. Their wife with David. Mm-hmm. Okay. What's next? What else did David write?
Oh my God. Break character.
Well, it's just I'm looking. You're not even in email. You're on notes. So I don't even know how this is possible, but okay.
Oh my God. No.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. Oh my God, my face hurts. Chad lately has been doing this thing that makes me laugh so hard. If I get into like a really goofy, weird mood and I'm just like being a spaz, Chad will he'll look down and then look at the side with big eyes at me. Then he'll go to his phone and go, Siri, call my mom. I'm scared.
Now I have to call my doctor and told them I lied to them because I don't feel safe at home.
Oh, fuck. That makes me laugh so hard. Well, thank you, David.
Good going, by the way.
Real person. Thank you for writing in. And yeah, good for you for all these changes you've made. This sounds really wonderful. Great job. Everything I say right now, I feel like you're thinking I'm talking to you.
I feel like you're talking to yourself.
Oh my God.
Hey, David, great wording on this one. Wow.
Did it feel too...
Surprised it didn't end with Go Gonzaga.
Oh my God. He said he started not shitting on Calcium Chad, just attempting to commiserate.
I understand. I'm just teasing. I think that's a lot of good stuff. That's a lot of stuff that I've worked on too with the freaking out and realizing things aren't happening to me, they're happening around me, and like all of these things. I will tell you though, there's some times where you go, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to honk, I'm going to give a thumbs down, and then I'll figure out what happened later. But I will tell you, there are some things, and it's not like I'm looking for them. I try not to anyways. I really have tried to look for the positive things on the road where I go, hey, the person used their blinker. Like even if it's little things that, shouldn't be, or they should be expected. I've been looking for them, but I will tell you that if you run a stop sign to get in front of me and then go slow, that's it for me. There's no telling me anything about that.
Yeah.
That, well, maybe they didn't see this. I don't give a fuck about any of that. You were in such a hurry that you couldn't stop and wait your turn. And now you're going to go 15 miles per hour slower than I was going. I don't think so. Yeah. I don't think that's going to go great.
Yeah.
I think you're going to wonder why you're towing a car behind you. I don't remember putting this on a hitch. That person's so close to me.
Yeah, even who I don't have road rage,
Allegedly,
I can be an impatient person. I've tried to work on it as I've gotten older, and there are times, I was just telling you, where if it is a 2-lane road, there's no passing, like in kind of our little local area, and I'm cruising, going at a good speed, and somebody pulls out from a business in front of me, like cause I have to slow down to let them in, which they should have just let me go, and then they go under the speed limit. Ooh, I feel myself immediately get so annoyed and mad. And I will tell myself like, hey, you got nowhere to be right now. You're just going home. It's fine. But it's you're right. There's like a principle to it. You're like, yeah, but that's not how it's supposed to be. And even if I'm not like late for something right now, you're just like slowing my life down on the road. Like I'm having to spend more time in the car when I could have been home.
But there is just no reason you see someone coming and you go, well, I want to be first.
Ugh.
It's this entitled shitheadedness that drives me absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And so for as long as I need to follow you, I'm not going to make a turn I don't need to make, right? I'm not going to scare someone, like do something like that. But I mean, I'm going to make however long we're going the same direction pretty fucking miserable for you.
Yeah.
Because I just think it's silly. And then here's the thing. I don't want you to think, well, that person's being mean. I want you to go, what did I do? Why is this person oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I pulled out without stopping and now I'm going slower than they were going.
Yeah.
My favorite is when they slow down more. And that's when I will find a way to get right up on them, like so we can see each other through the windows and just be like, the fuck are you doing? In a very nice way. Very nice. What the fuck are you doing?
Now, in those situations.
Do I think I'm going to get shot?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Because we have a business around us where this happens more than any other place. Mm-hmm. And it is, I'm going to say this business harbors some twattiness and some entitledness. And I'm talking about men and women.
Yeah.
And so when it happens at that business specifically, I just go, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
But anyways, David, it's not working for me as well as it is for you. But it's easy to have stuff work well for you when you're not a real person.
Oh my God.
What else?
David, I'm so sorry. Thank you for writing in. I think you maybe knew what you were getting into. Maybe you didn't, but if you've binged the show, you've come to know Chad.
I do think it's impressive. I mean, obviously he's quit drinking for 2 years. Mm-hmm. He's got good things going on with his wife now that he's calmed it down. Mm-hmm. I get it, but could you see how someone in my position would hear this and go, oh, she definitely wrote this just as a reminder to keep fighting the good fight.
Because I would do that.
Oh, I know you wouldn't.
I know. I'm just saying sorry to David. Like, I know you're a real person and I appreciate you writing it.
Well, I don't know how much you need to apologize for him. He made, what, $150, $200?
My God.
Hey, meet us over at Patreon, where we continue this Is David Real conversation.
Oh. See you over there.
She loves me.
I do love you. Patreon.com/pretendproblems. Come on over. See you over there. Bye.